Prototyping by Krusniak. What is a prototype? Prototypes are important tools in the development and production of new products. In the engineering design literature, prototypes are mainly perceived as tools for validating and verifying aspects of a design in the late stages of the design process. However, several studies have found that prototypes are important in the earlier design stages as well, and it is currently unknown how prototypes contribute to add value within the overall value chains of a business system. Prototyping model phases. The image below shows the different phases: requirements, quick design, build prototype, user evaluation, refining prototype, implement and maintain the prototype. Types of prototyping models. There are 4 different types: rapid throwaway, evolutionary, incremental, and extreme. Rapid throwaway prototyping is based on the preliminary requirement. It is quickly developed to show how the requirement will look visually. The customer's feedback helps drive changes to the requirement, and the prototype is again created until the requirement is baselined. In this method, a developed prototype will be discarded and will not be a part of the ultimately accepted prototype. This technique is useful for exploring ideas and getting instant feedback for customer requirements. Evolutionary prototyping. Here, the prototype developed is incrementally refined based on customers' feedback until it is finally accepted. It helps you to save time as well as effort. That's because developing a prototype from scratch for every interaction of the process can sometimes be very frustrating. This model is helpful for a project which uses a new technology that is not well understood. It is also used for a complex project where every functionality must be checked once. It is helpful when the requirement is not stable or not understood clearly at the initial stage. Incremental prototyping. In incremental prototyping, the final product is decimated into different small prototypes and developed individually. Eventually, the different prototypes are merged into a single product. This method is helpful to reduce the feedback time between the user and the application development team. Extreme prototyping. The extreme prototyping method is mostly used for web development. It consists of 3 sequential phases. Number 1, basic prototype with all the existing page is present in the HTML format. Number 2, you can simulate data process using a prototype services layer. And number 3, the services are implemented and integrated into the final prototype. Advantages of the prototyping model. Users are actively involved in development. Therefore, errors can be detected in the initial stage of the software development process. Missing functionality can be identified, which helps to reduce the risk of failure, as prototyping is also considered as a risk reduction activity. It helps team members to communicate effectively. Customer satisfaction exists because the customer can feel the product at a very early stage. There will be hardly any chance of software rejection. And finally, quicker user feedback helps you to achieve better software development solutions. Disadvantages of the prototyping model. Prototyping is a slow and time-taking process. The cost of developing a prototype is a total waste, as the prototype is ultimately thrown away. Prototyping may encourage excessive change requests. Sometimes customers may not be willing to participate in the iteration cycle for the longer time duration. And finally, there may be far too many variations in software requirements when each time the prototype is evaluated by the customer. Questions. If you have any questions for me on my presentation, please comment below, and thanks for watching. Here are my references.